Hi traders, and welcome to my PineConnector beginner guide. First things first, what is PineConnector? PineConnector is an expert advisor script which was recently developed for the MetaTrader platform, and it allows you to execute trades automatically based on TradingView alerts. This allows you to fully automate TradingView scripts and strategies written in PineScript. As you know by now, if you've watched any of my PineScript lessons, PineScript is an incredibly easy and simple language to learn, at least compared to Python or MQL or other higher level languages that are commonly used to automate trading scripts. And if you're a subscriber to my channel, which you should be if you want to enhance your edge over the markets through scripting, then you know that I recently finished an entire series demonstrating how to use the AutoView plugin for the Chrome browser, which does exactly the same thing as PineConnector. The main differences with PineConnector is that it's cheaper than AutoView, nearly half the price. It runs in the popular advanced MetaTrader trading platform, which most brokers offer support for. It's more powerful than AutoView, at least for Forex traders. Now, the reason it's more powerful is because MetaTrader scripts can read your account balance and various other account details and open position information where AutoView does not. For example, if you want to open a trade with a position size and risk equating to just 1% of your account balance, achieving this in AutoView is far more difficult as you need to manually calculate your position size in your Pine scripts. PineConnector, on the other hand, can achieve this with a single alert parameter that specifies how many percentage points to risk of your account balance. You just add the parameter to your alert message and PineConnector calculates your position size. For crypto and stock traders, this may not be applicable to your trading style, but for Forex traders, this is an industry standard way of operating in the markets. By using PineConnector, you can always be sure that your Forex position size is appropriate when executing automated strategies. And as any experienced trader knows, having a consistent position size is paramount to maintaining consistent results and plays a massive role in your edge over the markets. There's always a trade-off when automating PineScript code. The benefit of automating PineScript code is that PineScript code is extremely easy to write and it's an easy language to learn. The limitations of PineScript, on the other hand, when it comes to automating strategies is too long to list. But PineConnector bridges that gap significantly. And as far as I can tell in all of the research I've done when it comes to automating PineScript strategies on the Forex markets, PineConnector is the best solution out there. And in this video series, I'm going to introduce you to PineConnector and show you how to get started. Today's video focuses on getting the platform set up, starting your 7-day free trial, executing your first test trade on a demo account. You can find a link in the video description to the PineConnector website to sign up and create your account. And in future videos, I'll cover the PineConnector alert commands and syntax in great detail, as well as how to automate your TradingView scripts and send the relevant alerts within your Pine code. And finally, I'll show you how to set up MetaTrader on a virtual private server so that you can have your automated scripts running 24/7 with as little downtime as possible. Welcome to the most comprehensive guide to PineConnector on the internet. Let's get started. So here we are on the PineConnector homepage. The very first thing you need to do, obviously, is create your account. So to do that, come up here and click on Login, and then click on Create Account. You need to fill out these details and then log in to your account. Once you've signed into your account, this is the page you'll be taken to. So this number here is your license ID, and you will need this in order to initiate your trial, your 7-day free trial. And you'll also need it if you purchase access to this expert advisor in order to validate your account on MetaTrader. So once you've logged in, you have two options. You can either download the MetaTrader 4 Expert Advisor or the MetaTrader 5 Expert Advisor. Both of these Expert Advisor scripts behave pretty much identically. So it doesn't matter which one you pick as long as you pick the one that's compatible with your version of MetaTrader. So for me personally, my main broker is Oanda, and they only support MetaTrader 4 as of recording this video. So today's video is going to show you how to set up the MetaTrader 4 version, but the steps should be pretty similar for the MetaTrader 5 version. And if you get stuck on any of the steps that I show you today, make sure to come to this web page and click on the setup guide relevant to whichever version you're trying to set up. So if I open this in a new tab, you can see that the PineConnector team have written out a list of instructions step by step on what you need to do in order to get this Expert Advisor set up and running. In today's video, I'm going to take you through each of these steps for MetaTrader 4, and then we're going to test a command to make sure everything works. And in the next video, I'll show you the various alert commands and syntax that we have to work with. So let me go back to my main account page, and I'm going to click on Download MT4 EA. Now, it doesn't matter where you download this, just so long as you remember where you put it so that we can copy it into the MetaTrader directory later. So I'm going to click Save here and just save it to my Downloads folder. So on this computer, I do not have MetaTrader set up currently, so I need to go and download the MetaTrader platform. Now this EA should work with any version of MetaTrader 4, whether it be the vanilla version or whichever version your broker gives you to download. I'm going to go to the Oanda website, log into my account, and then download their version of MetaTrader 4. If you're familiar with MetaTrader and you've used it before, you might want to skip ahead in this video to where I install the PineConnector Expert Advisor. But for those of you who are new to MetaTrader or haven't used it before, the next few minutes will show you how to download MetaTrader, create an account, and log in to your broker. There will be timestamps in the video description to help you skip ahead if you need to. So here I am on the Oanda account homepage. To download the Oanda version of MetaTrader 4, I just need to click on this link here. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to save it into my downloads folder. Now that I have the installation file, I just need to click on this little drop-down box and click Open, and I'm going to install MetaTrader just into the default directory. Now I'm going to click Finish, and we can close this page. We don't need to make a MetaTrader account. So the next thing we do, if you haven't already, is create a MetaTrader 4 compatible sub account. At least that's what I need to do through my broker Oanda. So to do that, I have switched to my demo account because I want to practice these commands on my demo account before I move to my live account. And to create a compatible account, I need to click on this Add Sub Account link here. Now just ignore this primary account with 89 quadrillion million dollars in it. That was an account I created for my girlfriend's little nephew to play around with, and he did quite well, to be honest. He made a few $100 million trading corn, which is pretty impressive for a 7-year-old. Anyway, I've already got a MetaTrader account set up, and if I want to log into MetaTrader, this is the information I need to pay attention to, or at least my MetaTrader login and server. If you don't have this account and you're using Oanda, then to create a MetaTrader 4 account, all you need to do is click on Add New Sub Account and then select MetaTrader 4 here. And then once you've done that, you should have this information here when you click on your relevant account. And now this is the info I need to log in to MetaTrader. So let me open up MetaTrader. Here it is. Click on that. Now if I go back to my Oanda account, my server is Oanda Demo 1, and I need to copy this account login number. So Oanda Demo 1 will be this server here, this practice server. So I click Next, and then I click Existing Trade Account, paste in my login number, and then type in my password here. My account is now logged in. And just to verify that, I'm going to come up and click on New Order and just see if I have the option to, and I do. So I am now logged in to my account. You'll have to ignore all these silly sounds that MetaTrader makes. It's quite annoying. I'm sure you can turn it off in the settings. But I'll leave it as it is for now, and we'll just move on to the next step in setting up PineConnector, which is opening up your data folder. So the quickest way to do this is just click File and then click on Open Data Folder, and here it is. Now we open up the MQL4 folder, just double click on that, and then we need to open up our Experts folder at the top here. Any of you who have used Expert Advisors before knows how this works. But for those of you who don't, we need to copy in the PineConnector Expert Advisor file or script into this folder. So for me, I downloaded my file to my downloads folder, so I'm going to click on that. I need to copy this file or cut this file, right click cut and click back, and I'm going to paste that file into this folder here. And now the Expert Advisor script is installed. All we have to do now is close this folder, close MetaTrader, and then reopen MetaTrader so that it can load the script that we just added. So I'm going to relaunch MetaTrader, and we're back in. If I click on this plus symbol under Expert Advisors, we should see the PineConnector script installed. So the next step is to adjust some of the MetaTrader default settings to enable the permissions that the script needs. In order to do that, we need to go up to Tools here and click on Options, or hit Control O. Next, we need to click on the Expert Advisors tab and then enable or allow DLL imports. It says potentially dangerous, enable only for trusted applications. PineConnector is a trusted application. It's a legitimate script, and we're on a demo account anyway, so it's perfectly safe to click allow on this option. While we're here, we should also click allow automated trading, which will allow PineConnector to trade on our behalf when the time comes. And I'm going to untick these two options here. Now we can click OK. And the next step is to attach PineConnector to a chart. It can be any chart. It doesn't need to be the chart or the market that you want to trade. As long as this script is attached to any chart in the platform, then when we send our alerts to PineConnector, to the PineConnector webhook, our script will receive that alert and will trade any market that we tell it to. The only requirement is that we leave data running on our computer. Now that could be a problem for some of you, but don't worry. At the end of this series, I'll show you how to set up a free virtual private server to run this 24/7 on a virtual server. I've already created a lesson on how to do that for AutoView. The link will be in the video description and should be popping up on the top right hand corner of your screen right now. The steps are extremely similar to that video if you want to set up a virtual private server to run MetaTrader. But we'll come back to that later. First of all, let's just get this script working. So the next step is to attach PineConnector to a chart. If this window is not open for you, press Control N to open it up. Now I'm just going to close 3 of these charts and maximize this middle one. And I'm going to right click this and click Attach to a chart. The next step is to come to the Common tab. Make sure Allow DLL Imports is selected and make sure that Allow Live Trading is enabled. The next step is to click on Inputs, and now we need to paste our license ID into this value column. So to get your license ID, go back to the PineConnector account webpage, which is this page here. And we need to copy this number here. So you can click on that or just copy the text. Go back to MetaTrader and then paste that number in here. Now we just click OK, and that should add the script to the chart. Now, if the script was successfully added to your chart and you were successfully authorized to use the script, then you should see in your top left corner your free trial expiry date. If you see this text up here, then you have successfully installed and added this script to your MetaTrader platform. And that's pretty much it. All we have left to do is test the command, make sure that the script is working, and then we'll wrap up this video and I'll come back in the next video and we'll go over all of the command syntax that we have to work with when using the script. All right, so before we set a test alert on the TradingView platform, we need to adjust a few settings in the PineConnector Expert Advisor. So to do that, I'm going to right click on my chart, come down to Expert Advisors and click Properties. Now here is our PineConnector input settings. I want to adjust a couple of these. I want my take profit and stop loss to be based on price. So I'm going to double click on this setting here, click on the drop down box and change this to TP and SL based on price. If you leave this on pips and you send your alert with a whole number for your take profit or stop loss, then the script will treat that number as pips. But if you want to set it based on price, you need to change your setting here in the PineConnector interface. The next setting is our volume type. I'm going to leave mine on a percentage of my account balance, but you could change this to a specified volume or lot size if you wanted to. Depending on your strategy, you might need to change this, but it's generally considered best practice in trading to base your position size as a percentage of your account balance rather than some arbitrary lot size, unless of course you're using a complex money management technique. But for today, I'm going to leave mine on percentage of balance. I don't need to worry about pyramiding. This just means if it's set to true, then the PineConnector script can open more than one trade in a given direction. And hedging means that you can open multiple trades in multiple directions. I'm going to leave that with the default setting of false, and I'm going to leave pyramiding on for now. So now I need to click OK. So now let's jump over to the TradingView charting platform and we can set up a test alert. I'm just going to scroll to a blank chart. Here we go. And actually, let's open up euro dollar, since that is the market we're going to send a test command to. So now to send a test alert, all we need to do is right click on our chart and click add alert. Now we want this alert to be guaranteed to trigger since it's a test command. So to do that, we're going to click on the condition here and change this to greater than, and then just set the value to 0. So that will guarantee that this alert fires as soon as it's created. Next up, we don't need to be notified about this alert unless you want to be, and I don't want it playing any sounds when it fires. So the first thing we need to do to make sure that this alert will fire is input the webhook URL to PineConnector. So to do that, enable the webhook URL text box, and you can see I've already got mine saved here, but I'll show you where to go and get this URL if you need to in the future. If you go to your PineConnector account and click on configure alerts to our server alerts guide here, and you scroll down to number 2 here, step number 2, you can see the webhook URL right here. So just copy this webhook URL and paste that into this webhook URL text box in your alert interface. And whenever this alert triggers, whatever we put in our message will be sent to this webhook URL, and then PineConnector will relay this information to MetaTrader. So if you want more information on how to set up your alerts through PineConnector, make sure to go through this alerts setup guide. But in today's video, I'm going to walk you through this first section here. So the first thing we need to do is get the right symbol ticker ID from MetaTrader. If the symbol you want to trade isn't listed in this list here, press Ctrl U and then click on these groups to locate the instrument you'd like to trade. These groups will look different depending on your broker. Oanda have kindly named these groups in a manner that's extremely easy to understand. That's sarcasm, obviously. But if the symbol you want to trade is in gray, for example, let's say I wanted to trade the Aussie 200, ASX 200, I need to double click on this instrument to turn it yellow. And then this is the ticker ID that I would need to send to PineConnector in my alert message to trade it. So make sure to come into your symbols list and activate the symbols you want to trade. Make sure that the symbols are yellow, the ones that you want to trade through PineConnector. It's going to be different based on whatever platform you're using or whatever broker you're using. It's not as simple as just sending the market you want to trade. If I open up my MetaTrader account here and make sure to pull out this window a little bit further so that you can read the entire ticker ID, you can see here that all of my markets end with a -2. So if I want to send a command to open a trade on euro dollar, I need to add -2 to the end of my ticker ID. It's a little bit annoying, I know, especially when it comes to sending these commands based on your PineScript code. But when we get to the lesson where I show you how to send commands to PineConnector through your PineScript code, I'll show you a solution to this issue. But for now, just remember that when we're sending our test command, I need to write out my ticker ID as euro dollar -2. So before we write out our command, let's go to the alert setup and just read the example message here. So you can see that the parameters of our command or our alert syntax is separated by commas. And the first parameter we need to send to PineConnector is our license ID. So if I come up to my account here, scroll to the top, that's this number here again. So if I right click this and click copy, and we go back to TradingView, I can paste that ID in here, hit comma, and now the next parameter is which direction I want to trade in. So you can see here we have our license ID, buy or sell. If we write sell in here, then that will sell this market short. But today I want to buy this market. Next up, we need our ticker ID, and then we can specify our stop loss, take profit, and risk, etc. So to specify the market I want to trade, remember that we need to put in our ticker ID. Remember that the ticker ID ended with a -2. So I need to write it out like this. This will send a buy command to the euro dollar market on MetaTrader. Next up, we need to specify our risk. Remember that we set our risk to a percentage of our account balance in the PineConnector settings. So I can use any number here. 1 would be 1%, 2 would be 2%. So let's go with 2% for today's example. Next up, I'm also going to specify a stop loss price and a take profit price. Now, if you had set up your PineConnector settings to be based on pips, then you could use a whole number here in order to specify your stop loss in pips. So 25, for example, would set up a 25 pip stop loss below our entry in the case of a buy order. But for today, we're dealing with price. So I'm going to write in here, let's just go with 1.184 to keep it simple. So when this command gets executed, we will have a stop loss placed right here. And for our take profit, let's set that to 1.194, just to keep today's example as simple as possible. So now this should be all we need in order to execute a test trade on euro-dollar. So when I click create, this alert should fire instantaneously and open a buy order at market on euro-dollar with our 2% risk based on our stop loss price. So let's click create and then jump over to MetaTrader and see what happens. And there we go. It just fired off. And here we have our euro-dollar trade opened. So you can see that our trade was opened at 1.1909. Our stop loss is at 1.184 and our take profit is at 1.194. And our position size is 0.21 of a lot, or around 21,000 units. So there we have it. We've successfully set up PineConnector and fired our first test trade. So if you want to see your orders in real time, just right click on the symbol we're trading and click chart window. And you can see where our buy order was executed and our take profit and stop loss. So that will do it for today's introduction video. In the next video, I will go over the various commands we have to work with PineConnector. And in the video after that, we'll get our hands dirty with some Pine script code and start sending these commands to MetaTrader from within our scripts. The same way we did with AutoView in my AutoView series, if you've watched any of those lessons. Now the concepts here between AutoView and PineConnector are very similar. The main difference is obviously we're working with MetaTrader here. And the coolest difference, in my opinion, is that we can set our risk as a percentage of our account balance through MetaTrader, which takes into account our actual account balance, as opposed to AutoView where we need to artificially calculate our position size in PineScript, since AutoView doesn't allow you to set your position size based on a percentage of your account balance. The other cool thing is that PineConnector is quite a bit cheaper than AutoView, nearly half the price. So not only is PineConnector more powerful than AutoView, at least when it comes to Forex trading, it is also significantly cheaper. And now if you decide that you like PineConnector and you want to subscribe to the platform, if you also want to support my YouTube channel, there'll be an affiliate link in the video description that you can use to create your account over here on PineConnector, and I will get a commission based on your purchase at no extra cost to you. So if you do use my affiliate link, I'm extremely grateful. And even if you don't, thanks for watching. I'm really appreciative of your time. And I hope today's video at least helped you get started with this awesome service. Anyway, that'll do it for today's video. I need to go and manage my own trades. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I will see you very soon in the next lesson.